Tell us, first of all, what are the COVID costs for patients who are hospitalized?
Well, right now what's happening is that, because COVID has cost so much for insurance companies, there's this shift where they're trying to shift the cost, more of the cost to the patient. But even right now, it's really expensive. If you look at, can you bring up the slide with the COVID costs?
I think it's slide 23.
Yeah, some people they'll spend like $30,000 in the hospital just for COVID. Now, if you need the extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, which is basically the machine they put you on for, kind of like a heart, the heart, all heart surgeries, the patients get put on this machine, but they're also using it for really sick COVID patients. And so that therapy in itself is $5,000 a day. And that's, maybe even on top of your other costs, like being in an intensive care unit, which you would need to be to even have that kind of therapy. Not all hospitals are doing it, but I was reading that one person who got really, really sick from COVID, his wife called all around and finally found, like, she called 30 different hospitals, finally found a hospital where he could be essentially helicoptered out to, or, flown to, that would do this therapy on him. And, he's survived, but, not everybody can afford to pay for this kind of thing. So, if you are just hospitalized for COVID, suppose you have no insurance, then it's very, very costly. You'll spend like more than $200,000 on an ICU stay, on the vent, or if you're in the hospital, it could be like $50,000. With insurance, it's a little bit more reasonable, but it's still, $20,000 for a hospital stay, depending on how long you stay, and, more than $100,000 if you have an ICU stay. So, these costs people aren't really realizing. And now the insurance companies, they're starting to try to pass on more of these costs to the patient, because it's been very costly, and the insurance companies are in it to make money. So that's the unfortunate way things are. So